Hi, everyone. Welcome to another exciting episode of the Transform Your Confidence podcast, a place where we bring you into our inner circle of recommended leaders, experts, and thought leaders to garner their insights on knowledge and techniques that are working today, with the goal of leveling up your repertoire of expertise so that you're always set up to win. You guys know I say this off the top of every show. The goal is that you take and glean what makes sense, what works for you, and leave everything else alone. And let's win. Let's win, ladies, right? Before we begin, I want to remind you to subscribe to our YouTube channel at the Open Chess Confidence Academy to view all video versions of the show, and also search Transform Your Confidence wherever you receive your audio podcasts so you never miss an episode when we launch them every second and fourth Thursday of the month. In today's show, we will be focusing on mindset and accountability, with the theme being, are you born for more, or is that for someone else? To help me deep dive this, my guest today is the founder of the Born for More movement and the Soulful Divorcee Event, Kathryne Mejias, who empowers women to transform divorce, separation, and life's transitional periods into opportunities for growth and reinvention. Having been through it herself, she's passionate about redefining divorce, not as an ending, but as the start of a powerful new chapter. Her mission is to guide women from feeling stuck to stepping into their limitless potential, embracing healing, transformation, and a renewed sense of worth. Oh my God, this just feels good already. Her upcoming event, the Soulful Divorcee, is taking place in Toronto on Saturday, March the 29th. And it's a not to be missed event, a gathering of women from all walks of life who are born for more. Please welcome to the show the unstoppable Kathryne Mejias. Thank you for coming on, sister. I am so excited about learning about you and all of these fantastic things that you're doing. Thank you for agreeing to be on.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm really excited about this conversation.
So let's dive right in, Kathryne. Your journey, I'm so curious about your journey as a flight attendant, a stylist, and divorcee, all in part led to the launch of the Born for More movement. This is what I feel. You're also a mother, so I know that there is an element there that always ties us to having the strength to do more than we think we can do. I know this as a single divorced mother myself. It wasn't until I became divorced did I start looking into who I need to be, right? And I got the strength from the fact that I was a mother. So I want to talk about how this all unfolded for you, the Born for More movement, the Soulful Divorcee event, and then the namesake book. Can we connect the dots for everyone watching, listening, and reading this before we talk about the movement, the event, and the book? Tell us why.
Absolutely. So, my whole life, I felt like I was born for something more. I knew it inside of me, yet I couldn't quite figure it all out. And I was very, very shy as a child, always trying to fit in and mold to the people around me in order to be liked. And you know what? That kept me really small and really uncomfortable in my own skin. And I couldn't really access the more because of all those layers, right? And so what kept me not accessing them more was my own limiting beliefs. And
Mm.
through my journey of being a flight attendant, it forced me to come a little bit out of my shell, to speak on the PA, to connect with people. That was a journey that helped me, as well as working with women through in different areas from all walks of life and helping them feel better on the outside. But there was still that thing inside of them that I saw that they wanted that more as well, but they didn't believe in themselves. And I think it was also a lack of self-worth on my part and that I saw in all these women. So because of that, I named my company Born for More, and that kind of was the seed of it all.
Oh my God, I love it. And I couldn't resist it. Today's show theme is Are you born for more or is that for someone else? I couldn't resist it when I learned about your story. And I want to tell you why. Many women struggle with believing that they are meant for more. You know this, I know this. We meet these more of that kind of woman than the kind of woman that we aspire to be, where we know that we are meant for more, we deserve more, and we action it, right? Because that's the key at the end of the day. And it usually has to do with just life circumstances, right? We get boxed in by all the things that we feel we need to be doing and that we need to be, honing in on. What would you say to a woman that feels that all of life circumstances are getting in the way of her being able to live her true, authentic self? Because I know that there's a mind shift that's
Mhm.
necessary before you can actually even think about how to go about doing it.
Definitely. And it's something that I myself struggled with, right? Because we become victims to our circumstances. And it's not really until we take that power back and connect to our inner self and build that strong relationship that we're able to move forward without being affected by anything outside. And I find as women, we look at our reflection and we constantly tear ourselves down, right? So if we do that to ourselves, then we will allow other circumstances, including people, to do the same. So the first step is building a strong relationship with the self. And it could be as simple as looking in the mirror and telling ourselves that we are worth it, we are beautiful. And at first, for myself included, it was kind of a weird thing to do because you don't actually believe it. You're like, okay, this is a waste of time. But the more you do it, the more you begin to embody it. And when you become the embodiment of what you are saying, that is when your life starts to shift. And I have a funny story, actually. My non-married name or maiden name is Small. So I always felt so small. And
Mm.
when I got married, I married a man with the last name Mejias, and Mejias means majesty. So legally, I am the I am the small majesty and Messiah. So legally, I am the small Messiah,
Oh
and
my
that
God, I
was my
love it.
my transformation.
I love it. It's really interesting how, we don't realize this and, we know this, it's always when we look back on our lives that we realize how the dots were all intentional, that the universe, that, the divinity that is out there, is on our side, right? Whether it be the low ebbs or, the high ebbs, we have to accept that all of them are taking us to where we need to be. They're taking us to the promised land. I have to,
Mhm,
I have to say that, small Messiah, that, we're all driven to the desire to our own respective promised lands, right? But whether we get there has a lot to do with the mind shift piece, right?
mhm,
And what you talked about there really makes sense to me because we do first have to do things that don't feel comfortable because they're not habitual until
mhm,
they become habitual and then we start to really imbibe it. And this whole idea of looking in the mirror and saying the things that you wish you were, almost like you are bringing forth your higher self, the version of you that truly is the everlasting version, right? To the version of you that's experiencing life in this realm. I really feel that that's the connection that we're trying to make. And not until we bring her to this do we
mhm.
actually step into being the version of us that lasts forever. What are your comments on that?
Yes, I completely agree. And it's pushing ourselves out of the comfort zone, right? Because the edge I like to say is the edge of fear is a breakthrough that you're just about to go forward in. And a lot of us, we hit that edge, we're in that uncomfortable state, and then we retreat back to who we were and our living situations or our lives. And so I would invite all your viewers to really bring awareness to what brings them fear, examine them, and ask themselves, are they willing to break through that fear and continue on their path regardless of if fear shows up for them.
Oh my God, that is so huge. That is a whole other show you got to come back on. We're gonna deep dive that piece. What I want to ask you is that something that I feel that I always come across when I'm dealing with my clients, and it's this. We live in a culture that sensationalizes self-worth and betterment, but many women say that they simply don't have the knowledge, the resources, the support system, or even the time to invest in themselves, although they have a deep longing for it and they see it happening. That there's a huge renaissance of living our self-worth that's happening right now because the internet, social media is allowing us to connect with each other around the world and see that there are other people out there who are going through similar things as us, see people who are maybe 3 or 4 or 7 steps ahead of us who came from where we are. So it helps to normalize, the experience. What would you say to that woman who feels that everything is getting in the way of her being able to actually do the work to step into who she needs to be? These things like, I don't know how to do it. I don't know where to go to get it. I don't have anyone that supports me or understands me. And I've got 1,000 different roles that I have to live. Where's the time?
Well, I would say to her that I also have all those things that going, but
Me too.
we both do. We all do. Yet, if something becomes a priority, you will 100% make time for that priority. And we have to be a priority to ourselves. Otherwise, we are running on empty. And a great place to do that is in the Born for More community, right? Because it's all women who are on that same path and who want to feel empowered and connect to themselves and inspire each other. So I always surround myself with people who are breaking their own barriers and becoming the best version of themselves. And I think that whoever you surround yourself with matters so much because you become who you are surrounded by. Even if your circle is small, that's okay. If all those people are in positive vibration, that's going to ripple out into your energy. So it's all about surrounding yourself with amazing people that want the best for themselves, but also for you.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. And this is very innate in us as women, right? Because we are, nurtured and conditioned into, knowing that we need to be caregivers. So
Mhm.
it's automatic that we do that for others, but then we forget ourselves, right?
Mhm.
And this is why the Born for More movement is so important today. I love that we have segued into that. Can you share a little bit, Katherine, about what this movement is and, why get involved?
So, this movement is a movement dedicated to inspiring women to live their best life. All women from all walks of life are welcome. And it's really to connect women to other businesses that can enhance their journey about feeling empowered, especially when they're coming out of a divorce or a breakup. A lot of women feel lost. They have to refine or redefine who they are as women, and their whole identity shifts, right? So I do offer one-on-one sessions myself that can help women connect to themselves, relieve old patterns. But I can't do it all, right? We
Mm,
rise together. So I connect all these women coming to me with other businesses, such as stylists, if they want to revamp their whole look, or fitness to get in the best shape of their lives. And even if they want to go travel solo, right? Because that's always exciting when you're getting out of a relationship. Some women have never even traveled on their own. So I have someone who helps them do that. And
I
of course,
love that. I have to
yeah,
stop you a second. That is insanely fantastic. Because that's
yes.
the big fear that, I had when I first got divorced, right? And I also come from a culture, like a deep culture that's rooted in women always not being alone,
Mhm,
always belonging to someone, someone's, daughter, wife, sister, mother, right?
mhm.
So this would, I wish I had this when I first came out, because there is no better way to learn about yourself than learn about others. And what better way to do that than go and explore other cultures and travel?
And being free, right? It's just another
Yes.
layer of enjoying that freedom and that adventure. And a lot of women, they come out of these divorces and they feel like it's the end. And I'm like, no, it's all about the adventure. It's all about freedom and rediscovering the I don't know, the spark for life, right? The thing that you never thought you would experience. Now it gives you an opportunity to do that.
Absolutely. What about this movement have you found through the people that have come through it, um, that maybe you didn't realize when you were first coming up with the concept that, you were able to help these women in these ways? Like, share that a little bit, because we always, we start something, we start a venture and we have an idea of what it needs to be. And then when people start coming into it, we realize it's so much more than what we originally anticipated. Can you share that piece for everyone? Because communities and movements are part made by us as the creators, but part made by the people that journey through them. Share a little bit about that.
Of course. So I created this whole movement because there was a need for it and there was nothing else like that available when I was going through it. So I said, I'm going to create it. And I did not realize how many women are going through divorce. I know it sounds silly, but it's like the red car, right? When you're driving, spot the red car, and then all of a sudden all these red cars appear. I really had no idea how much of a need there was. And I'm so happy I followed my inner guidance because of my own experience. I can guide women and then I can attract all other businesses who are in that same vibration of helping and empower women rise to their best selves.
I love it. So, what should women coming into this movement expect? Like, is it business support? Is it mindset support? Let's break it down a bit, because everyone watching, listening, or reading this, I want them to see if this is what they need.
Of course. So everyone coming out of divorce, it's a whole new adventure. And through my own experience, I felt very lost and I didn't have the tools. So I wanted to give those tools or offer those tools in one place to make it easier. I mean, a lot of women are mothers, they have work to do. And then so how are they supposed to go and search for the best of the best or someone that has been vetted? So basically, all the business I work with are, have been approved by myself. So again, whether it's financial advice, mortgage, real estate, all of that area, as well as anything to do to help them enhance their self-worth when it comes to inner beauty and then the outer beauty. So it's for all women that depending on their needs and their unique needs, I guess, I will provide that connection for them. But I will also help them feel better on the inside by releasing patterns and vibrations and limiting beliefs that have kept them stuck or have
Mm.
attracted those relationships in the past, whether they be unfulfilling or toxic or just not happy. Because let's face it, if we don't heal or bring awareness to those patterns within us, then we are going to recreate that same situation. So the first thing for anyone to do is to release what created that whole experience in the first place so that they have a clean slate to move forward with.
I love, love, love everything about this movement. So when a person comes in, they get to do one-on-one sessions with you as they need. They get a resource community to be able to help support them with all the things that they need for life, right?
Mhm.
The life things. And then there is this wonderful extension, where you're doing this incredible event. And I have to tell you something. When it came across me and I saw the Soulful Divorcee, I was thinking to myself, in my culture, it was such a taboo. And it is in many cultures to even call yourself a divorcee, right? And it's funny because when I was married, before I became divorced, I used to like, I'm going to be full transparency here. Katherine. I used to
Mm-hmm.
look at women that were divorced because this is how I was brought up, right? I used to look at them and I used to think, God, they must have done something wrong. There must be something wrong with them. They like something happened there, right? And then I became her, right? And then I became her and I realized, hang on a minute, there's nothing wrong with me,
Mm-hmm.
right? There's a circumstance that's so much deeper here. There's more than me involved. Oftentimes, there's more than me and your partner involved. There's so
Mm-hmm.
many other things that happen that take you down that road. And, for me, there was no drama. I mean, I'm going to share this with you, Katherine. For me, it was just this sense of being the person that belonged to my parents, to being the
Mm-hmm.
person that belonged to my husband, to then coming to the end of my 20s, because I got married very young, it's just customary. And I
Mm-hmm.
also had an arranged marriage. That's a whole other podcast. But when I came to the end of my 20s, I wasn't the woman that my parents reared. I wasn't the woman that came into this arranged marriage. I realized I was a woman that was embarking on a journey of knowing myself. And
Mm-hmm.
so the divorce came about not because of drama. It came about because I realized that I actually needed to be by myself
Mm-hmm.
because I needed the room and the freedom to discover who I needed to be.
Mm-hmm.
So many women, when they look at divorce, they feel, oh my God, it's a taboo and all the rest of it. And then here you are, who I
Mm-hmm.
love, is coming up with an event called the Soulful Divorcee and putting it out there in bright lights. I commend that. Let's talk about this event. It's happening Saturday, March the 29th, right here in Toronto. Tell me what everybody needs to know about this event.
Well, yes, as you said, divorce, even the word is such a taboo. And for myself as well, because no one gets married to get divorced. It's just not the way things are done, right? But even for yourself, Raj, if you
Hmm.
would have stayed in your marriage, would you be as fulfilled as you are now? Probably not, right?
No, absolutely not. Because how do you fulfill a relationship with someone when you haven't fulfilled one with yourself?
Exactly. And honor your own desires and your own needs and wants. And so I want to just shift the perspective so women aren't afraid of that word because it's happening more and more. I mean, everyone knows a sister, a mother, a friend who's been divorced. 70% of divorces are initiated by women at the age of 41 to 42. And the average length of marriage is 8 years. And I am a Google stat myself.
Hmm.
I fall into those categories. And I really want to show women that it's not the end, it's not taboo, there's nothing wrong with us, and to celebrate this opportunity of rebirth and not to let those things pull us down, but allow them to propel us forward. And this event is all about inspiration. It's not only for divorced women, it's just for women in general to support your friends, your family, whoever you know that has gone through divorce, and meet like-minded women, have fun, have a drink, have a gift bag, celebrate and just be part of an amazing movement and community.
Oh my God, I love everything about this. And you're absolutely right. You know, everything that you're talking about that this event represents, for me, represents whatever challenge you may be having that you need to now go and get rid of. That's
Hmm.
what this event represents to me. Whether this is taking someone that is divorced that is self-pitying themselves, is feeling that it's the end of the world because we're made to feel that way as women, right? That, oh, maybe I should have just stayed in that marriage for my kids. There are so many narratives that stop us from moving forward. And then when we do get divorced, whether it's initiated by us or initiated elsewhere, how do we celebrate and transition from being the past version of us to the version of us that we really truly want to be? This
Hmm.
event is where you get to do that. There are workshops, there is networking opportunities. There's this incredible fireside chat with one of the greatest Canadian examples of what it means to be an empowered woman after divorce, right? With Sophie. Let's talk about that a little bit. Like, I know that, one sense I'm getting about you is that you are very mindful and intentional. I know that you invited her for a reason. Let's talk a little bit about that because I think there's so much that we can glean from the role model aspect of what she represents that is in all of us women. Talk to me about why you chose her.
So I invited Sophie Gregoire Trudeau to have a fireside chat with me because she is the embodiment and the inspiration of someone who has stepped away from someone who was very public, went through a divorce in a very public way, had, dealt with a lot of scrutiny and walks with confidence as she is redefining herself as a new woman. She has her new book coming out. It's all about relationships and breaking down the patterns and why we are in the relationships that we are. She's a yoga teacher, a coach, and she is just very inspiring. I'm so looking forward to diving deep and into her journey and seeing what she has to say. But I basically reached out to her because she portrays a woman of confidence who is on her path. And I wanted to inspire other women to do the same and say, if she can do it and I can do it, so can other women.
Absolutely. And the other thing is that we oftentimes really, really don't make the decision to step into the life we deserve, where perhaps divorce may be the road to entry there because we have kids. She has kids, you have a kid, I have a kid. Everything is possible. We cannot hold on to those kind of, traditional outdated ideologies that the most important role for us is the one of a nurturer, because the most important role for us is to nurture self so we can be a better nurturer for all the other aspects of our life. Give me your comments on your thoughts there.
I completely agree with you because as a role model, right, if I stayed in my relationship and my marriage, my son would grow up thinking that that was love, right? That the fighting and the bickering and the unhappiness, that's the way a marriage should be. And I want to show him that no, it's not. It's not, doesn't have to be that way if you choose to something different. And it
Mm.
is very outdated. I mean, we are changing, our world is changing, and it's time we change the taboo around divorce and look at it as just something that is a redirect from the universe.
Oh my God, I love that. A redirect from the universe. Absolutely. Isn't that the reason why we're here? We're constantly creating our reality. So
Mhm.
even by doing nothing, you are creating your reality. So why not do something? Right? Because you
Yeah,
already know, right? You already know where you are. Like maybe there's
yes,
something better, right?
yes, and it's a lot of people don't want to see the better because there's that fear. There's a lot of fear involved in change, and some people just don't want to change because of the fear. So again, it's looking at themselves, building that trust, and you build trust by building a solid relationship with yourself. And that's the way to get to move forward in any challenging situation.
Absolutely. So I wanted to ask you this as well, because as I'm thinking about the event, one opportunity is to be an attendee, right?
Mhm.
So let's talk about that first. Where are we sending these women to go purchase tickets? Where do they need to go?
They can go on eventbrite.ca and look up Soulful Divorcee, and it'll pop up right there. So it's at the Toronto Event Center located on the exhibition grounds. Very easy access, lots of parking, and doors open at 10:30.
I love the fact that you didn't do it downtown. It's because downtown is such a challenge for parking and getting there right now. The fact that you have it in a place where it's just this, this is what we do as women, right? We always like to make things convenient for everyone. You have it central enough that no matter where people are coming from, they can get there, right? There's a highway attached to the location and there's parking. What else do you want, ladies? You can also come in via the Go. The Go comes off right there as well if you're somebody that doesn't have a car. That's another way to come into the location as well. 10:30. How long does it go on? Is it a whole day? Is there an evening attached to it? Share all of that.
So doors open at 10:30. It's until 4. We at 11:30 we have a inspirational meditation with Eva Redpath. She's going to help us connect to the future version of ourselves and help set the tone. We have another speaker, and then the fireside chat starts at 2. Then Sophie Gregoire Trudeau has a book signing at 4, and at 3, pardon me. And in between those times, there's times to do photo shoots. We have a very special sponsor that is setting up a whole area to do some photography. Then there'll be the Born for More photo booth and time for shopping and chatting and connecting.
I love it. Now, anyone out there that's listening to this and they're like, oh my God, I'd love to get involved with this from a, business perspective. Are there any remaining sponsorship opportunities or is that all closed off now?
We definitely have one sponsorship opportunity left. Vendors are completely sold out, and we have a waiting list for next year already.
Oh my gosh. See, guys, like people are excited about this. You gotta bring your women, whether it's family, whether it's co-workers, whether it's your girlfriend circle, come out, connect, meet people, right? Let's grow an ecosystem around us, filling ourselves with people who will help us be the better version of ourselves. This is something that Katherine has, been theming throughout this conversation. You are who you surround yourself with. You are the thoughts that you allow to live in your mind, in your heart, in your body, in your soul. And sometimes we don't have the tools, the knowledge, the skill set, the understanding of how do we shift all of that negativity that's within us, right? To give room for the absorption of all the positivity. This event is where you're going to find that, right, Katherine?
Exactly. And men are also allowed to come. It's for women, but men can also attend. I just wanted to throw that in.
Oh my God, I love it. Now, can we actually also touch base on the Soulful Divorcee? Is, the book, right? Is it an extension of the event or is it an expansion of it?
So it was a surprise to me, honestly, that I was writing a book because it is my second book. And after the first one, I said, I'm never doing that again, just because the editing, right? The editing is demands so much. However, my inner guidance had another path for me. And I did have a little bit of resistance, but I'm like, okay, this is what I have to do. I'm going to do it. And it started off as a journal, just journaling throughout my whole separation, my emotions, tools I used, vacations I took, dates I went on, the highs and the lows, and me navigating throughout. And so once I had enough pages, my inner guidance is like, okay, here's your second book. I'm like, all right. Surprise, surprise. And that was kind of the start of it. It is not out yet. That one is going to be launched in a few months. So hopefully by June it'll be out and people can pre-order it on my website.
Brilliant. Now let's tell people what your website is.
It's born-for-more.com.
Perfect. So then you're going to have to come back on, right? We're going to have to talk about this book when it comes out.
Absolutely. I will send you a copy.
I would love that, Katherine. So, as we get ready to close off, for any woman out there sitting on the fence of their life and allowing it to control their narrative rather than curating and nurturing it to align with their needs, wants, desires, the things that we think we don't deserve, but we do deserve, what would you say to them in addition to, joining the Born for More movement, attending the Soulful Divorcee event on March the 29th? What would you say to them in addition to that?
I would say to that woman that she doesn't have to fake it. She doesn't have to put the pretty makeup on and the hair, but how can she embody it? How can she honor herself and honor herself at such a deep level that she is willing to move forward with grace and resilience? And no matter if fear comes up or if challenges comes up, that she is strong enough to move forward in whatever direction that is. And of course, she can join our community and feel supported, and she's not alone.
Absolutely. So let's once more round everything up. If people want to purchase tickets to the event, where do we send them?
Eventbrite.ca Soulful Divorcee in
If
the
pe
search bar.
if people want to join the movement, where are we sending them?
born-for-more.com.
And that's also where the book can be purchased for pre-sales. Are the pre-sales open, Katherine?
Absolutely. Yes, they are.
Brilliant. Perfect. That's great. And if someone wants to hang out with you, sister, where are we sending them?
Send them to the event. Come hang out with me at the event. I'll be there.
Oh my God, absolutely. And your socials?
Social Kathryne Mejias.
Oh
Just
my
my
God.
name.
I love it. So easy. Is there anything that we haven't touched upon or shared with the community here that you feel that they need to know before we close off?
I really want to make sure that these women listening know that there is another option for them. They are not stuck. The society may have taught them that they are, stuck in this situation forever, but there are other options. And we, you and I, are proof of that. So
Mhm.
come on, hang out with us, be in our vibration, and let's celebrate.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing all of these nuggets. Actually, no, all of these boulders of wisdom, Katherine. I absolutely love everything that you are about. I love your energy. I love your authenticity. You truly are a superhero woman. I want you to come back, and I really do mean that. Thank you for being on.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. I had such a fabulous time, and anytime I'm ready.
We're going to do this again, sister. I promise you, you are great. I love everything that you're doing. Please, folks, go out there, join the movement, go join the event. I just know that anyone that you bring along with you in either of these or both of these is going to thank you. I just know it. I can feel it. I myself will see you next time with another insightful and exciting and soulful episode of the Transform Your Confidence podcast. And if you enjoyed this one with me and Katherine, can you go give us a 5-star rating? Do it right now before you forget, and tell everyone you know to come hang out with us here. We need your support because we need to find all the women out there who need to know what we are sharing on this podcast. And as always, stay connected with us on our socials at the Open Chest Confidence Academy, and go to the openchestconfidenceacademy.com to join our free VIP community to be the first to get access to all the new things that we put out there, products, launches, services, collaborations, these podcasts, all of the things that we're doing. And, I just want to make sure that you guys feel connected to yourself, that you feel connected to your purpose, and that you just step into your happiness. Because at the end of the day, what's the point of everything if we're not happy about our circumstances? And I look forward to seeing you on the next episode. Take care of yourself and everyone that you love.